Welcome in, everybody, to another
Hey,
episode
hey,
of
hey!
Booked for Friday. Tonight we have a couple of authors here. That's why it says author interview. Going forward, we'll start changing the title based on the nature of our guests because they aren't always authors. Uh, Before we get into it, we'll kick things off with our mandatory call to action. If you know anybody who is related to the book or literary world, whether that is written, ebooks, audiobooks, etc., talking narrators, editors, authors, publishers, cover artists, cover models, whatever it may be,
Promoters.
send them our way. We want them on the show so that we can talk about them and get eyeballs and ear holes on their things, uh, their works primarily. Um, so go ahead, Julie. Give your intro.
Thank you very much, Sticks. Welcome to Book for Friday with our lovely uh authors. We have in the upper corner, adjacent to Sticks, Rich Bellberg. Am I saying that right?
Heidelberg.
Heidelberg.
Bellberg. I knew I was gonna end up butchering it. I'm sorry I had to do
It's okay. It's
that.
not the worst I've heard.
Okay. And then below, our resident Australian, we have finally got them on camera, other than in Discord where normally they can be seen. Um, C.M. Weller. As
G'day.
everybody knows, uh, thank you. As everybody knows, please share this out to everybody on your social medias. Let everybody know that we are live and come in, sit down, have a snack and a drink, and prepare for the chaos that is Sticks and Julie on a Friday night. Um, Remember all questions being asked in the chat because keep them coming because we need things to ask our authors. Um, Remember, no spoilers, so don't ask anything about that. Um, Otherwise, sit back and enjoy the ride. And we're gonna start off with our first thing of the night. CM, would you please tell us a little bit more about yourself and your writing, and go from there?
I am Sam Weller, non-binary being. Represent. Pronouns he here if you want to use those. If you don't, I'm one of them nays. I write an astonishing amount of speculative fiction. I try to do at least one a day. Um, on the off chance that I'm not writing something, I will be making my own bread, doing my own art, or generally faffing around with life stuff, because that happens too. I bill myself as the best writer you've never heard of. I hope that changes soon. Did I cover everything?
I think you
I think
did.
you got it.
How about you, Rich?
Uh, all right, you rich?
Okay. I am a poet and fantasy novelist primarily, but I have written in lots of genres, including science fiction. I have some fairy tales, some bizarre stuff, some suspense thriller, a collection of those stories, a superhero novella, um, and some nonfiction as well.
Sounds excellent. So, as you guys know, we've already given the rules to our authors. They know who answers when who asks. They already know no spoilers. Two authors enter, no sane authors leave. Let's kick it off with the first question of the night.
Bold of you to presume we were sane to begin with.
I didn't say sane authors enter. I just said they don't leave. All right. I'll kick it off. So, Rich, you'll be answering first.
Okay.
What does what does your writing cave smell like after a week of hard writing session?
If you mean the office in which I work, which is upstairs in my house here, it's well ventilated. So, particularly this time of year in June, because it gets kind of hot up there, it gets the morning sun. So I have to have a fan running usually. So it never smells bad. I might, but it doesn't.
How about you, CM?
I try not. I try not to immerse myself in just like solid writing sessions because it will inevitably balk my wrists. I'll have to put the braces on, and then that's definitely slows the writing process. But if I can imagine a week entirely spent devoting every hour to just writing, it would probably smell like ramen, packaged food, and a lot of anxiety.
So, a
Fair,
college
very,
dorm.
very fair.
Got it.
Probably with a
But
sous
All
of
right,
coffee.
right, because we got to have our thing of caffeine,
Gotta
which
have
goes
that
into my next
caffeine.
question. What beverage of choice do you have to have while you're writing?
Well, I gotta have my chug jug. It's a homemade concoction of diet cordial, hydration, mineral stuff, and a little bit of salt because I'm allegedly on the keto, but I still go with it because it's a ritual now. I guess. Uh, also got to have at least one, you know, random tin of caffeine, just in case start falling asleep at the keyboard. But other than that, the regular average everyday cup of coffee, and my personal perversion, a cup of Vegemite soup.
I'm gonna
Yes, I know
ignore that
that
I heard
face.
that one. How about you, Rich?
Um, well, usually, if there's any Diet Coke in the house, that's usually where I'm going first. Um, since I tend to be, depending on the day, if I have errands to run, and any of them take me near a store where I can get some, then I will probably stop and get some. Otherwise, it's whatever's in the house, which means it could be some bottled water or some bottled water with stuff added, so it's flavored. Um, nothing more than that, really. I never developed the coffee addiction that my mother had, or the tea addiction that my father had. Um, so hot beverages are mostly reserved for wintertime.
Gotta watch out for that Diet Coke. I've seen it. I've seen it do a number on people.
Yeah.
Overconsumed.
I limit myself to 2 bottles. That's about it. Although there was one recently. What happened recently? Um,
In the little
I,
bottles,
I,
right?
I
Not
managed
like
I
two
managed to
liter.
get up to four. I managed to get up to 4 bottles. Um, that didn't seem to bother me. And then one day, and then um, my wife actually ordered I test coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, which is a local coffee thing around here. Um, Although I'm sure they're in other parts of the country now. Um, and she couldn't drink it anymore because she's not used to that stuff. So I drank it, and that didn't bother me either. But it was only one large uh, container of that. Um, but I went right to sleep. It's like, so I might the caffeine immunity might be kicking in at this point because um, he says I can go to sleep, you know, under any circumstances,
Gotcha.
even thunderstorms.
Oh, thunderstorms are great. That puts me right out.
Oh yeah,
Really.
gotta
I
love a
used
good
to scare my
thunderstorm.
dogs, but in which case then I had to get up because somebody has to comfort the dog.
I have a new question making its debut tonight. So for those of you in chat, we have a brand new unhinged question for our authors. Um, if if today was your last day on Earth,
Mhm.
tomorrow, would you want your friends and family members to share out your current works in progress or burn them like your search history?
Um, everything should go into public domain.
I actually told beloved, When I go, make sure all my stuff gets out there, and I mean all my stuff. Yes, even the smut. Doesn't matter which arena, just wherever it seems appropriate.
True champions of freedom of speech. If I die, send it out there in its current state. No authors you
No
would want to
contact,
take
just let it
over.
be.
No, nobody you'd want to take it over and maybe finish it out. I know that's a thing that happens from time to time.
Hey, if somebody's gonna, they're gonna. Let them do it for the love, not for the money.
The reason I'm writing is to share it. It's not it's really, and I have written about this years ago when I first started in a blog that's probably still out there somewhere. Um, Storytelling is about sharing with the audience, and if I'm not doing that, um, then there's no point. Of course, requires an audience, which I'm still trying to acquire, but that's a different story entirely.
Mood there.
Go ahead, Julie, fire away.
Okay. I'm gonna go with an oldie but a goodie, and I ask this question to everybody, what that's on the show. Um, what is in your search history that probably has you on a watch list?
Oh, so many things. I have Googled and downloaded copies of the Anarchist Cookbook from time to time for research purposes. Promise. I have looked up various weapon injuries and blood spatter. And gone down several rabbit holes regarding various unsavory things tangentially related to Epstein,
Oh wow!
to put that politely.
The very pop culture reference, unfortunately, the state of the world is that is pop culture reference now. But how about you, Rich?
Yep.
Um, well, let me think. Things that when in the middle of writing, I will often stop to check certain facts about certain things to see how certain things work. I can't think of things off the top of my head, but I'm sure collected some of them might cause maybe a police detective to scratch their head, going, "Well, why did he look for this?" But that's the nature of what I'm doing. Um, um, but I can't think of anything. Uh, well, most recently, the one that comes to mind is I was researching the life cycle of butterflies because the story that I'm working on, the characters are based on they're fairies and they're butterfly-like, and I said, okay, since I don't really know what their reproductive cycle, for example, is. Of these fairies? I was thinking about the fairies. I said, let's base it on some real stuff. So I did some research to find out just how many butterflies get born at a time. That was really my question that I was trying to find out, because in my story, main characters have had children. I wanted to know how many children they possibly had. Um, Nothing. It's really weird and bizarre, but it's nothing that's going to get me on Dateline or anything now.
Yeah, I don't know if the life cycle of butterflies and their children's how many children they can have would so much
Yeah.
put you on a watch list. Maybe when you jump
No.
over to certain types of moths and then Silence of the Lambs and then what lotion is best for a skin suit, then you might
If they were giant butterflies, and this was a horror story,
Mm.
and it was not a remaking of Mothra, which comes to mind, uh, and it was some sort of vampiric insect or other, then maybe, but it's not my cup of tea, really.
Gotcha.
Fun fact: butterflies will drink blood.
Interesting. Something I've
Great.
learned that I didn't need to know.
Yeah. uh,
I told you about the watch list.
there are plants that will eat animals too, so
Yep, carnivorous plant.
Oh yeah, loads of
carnivorous
those.
plants. So I'm sure there's all kinds of weird stuff out there that we don't know about.
How about So, kicking off the next one, I've got this is going to be an interesting one for at least one of you. What is the most distracting thing in your house when you're trying to write?
Um, well, it used to be the dogs when we had them, um, because when they need attention, they need attention. Nowadays, it's probably more like if I really need quiet to write, and if there's a lot of noise, um, that can be very distracting. Um,
So, just noise in general, or
just all kinds of noise. You know, if someone is if I'm hearing some strange noises outside, and God knows there are a lot of things around here, and I don't recognize what the sound is. I mean, the sound of a lawnmower, he's not gonna do it. Um, but I was gonna say, but if it's something, then I'll probably have to get up and go to the window
okay. So,
just to find out what it is, so it doesn't distract me anymore.
curiosity.
Yeah.
How about you, CM?
I could jump up and get it. I usually have on my desk at least 2 sand pictures and 1 hourglass. They're great for zoning out too and waiting for the ideas to drift down, but when I'm trying to write, they're also great for staring at and distracting me. Next to that are the cats and the kids.
I was wondering which of those was gonna win. That's why I was curious.
In order.
Go for it, Julie.
Okay. If you could sit down with any of your characters and have a one-on-one like meal, beer, and just that one-on-one talk to find out why the hell they're doing what they're doing, which one would it be?
Oh, God. The one that needs the most explaining is probably Shade. You haven't met her. Uh, she's like my 16-year-old original character, Do Not Steal, but she's 100% chaos and keeps wanting to play in various worlds and will not leave me alone ever since I drew her. Just like, if I could summon her and ask her, why the fuck won't you leave me alone? You don't fit anywhere, dear.
And that's why, 'cause it's fun.
From a 16-year-old point of view, yeah, it, it's annoying, so therefore I do it.
Yeah.
How about you, Rich? Who are you gonna sit down with?
Well, generally, I know why my characters do what they do since I'm in their heads a lot of the time. But if I'm just an outside observer, it would have to be one of the villains who I don't tend to understand nearly as well as the good guys. Um, Possibly some of the one or more of the necromancers that are in my fantasy series, because I never have understood why would you bargain with demons for power? It's ultimately going to kill you.
Sometimes that's what it takes to raise a family.
No, these guys don't have families.
From the dead?
Yes, yes, they're necromancers. They're raising a family. Yeah, ha 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 ha.
Well, yeah,
I'm
okay.
terrible.
Yeah, that was a bad pun. Yeah.
uh, is it back to me? I believe it's back to me.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so your book, and for argument's sake, we're going to be referring to the ones that are currently on screen. So, the covers that you provided us, that book is being turned into a movie, but the casting agent did a terrible job. Do you still take the money?
I'll take the money and run because I just want to see how big of a disaster that's going to be. Sorry for taking my turn in advance. I just couldn't stop it.
Oh, did we lose?
Oh no! Oh no, we lost Rich.
He didn't like that question.
Oh no!
I think having connection issue. There we go.
Technology.
Are you back, Rich?
It wouldn't be a day
Yeah.
ending in Y if the Promcast didn't have scuff issues. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Please evacuate the station.
Hold, please.
See if I can actually get in.
There we go. There's audio.
Yep, I hear you. Can you turn
I
your
hear you. I don't see anything. Hold on a second. I may have to restart my browser here.
Over on the left side, do you see interview in progress?
No, I don't.
You don't see anything.
It says it looks like there's another voice. You're in another voice channel, and you want to switch to green room.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
no, he doesn't.
Oh, he's in the
You
green
don't
room.
want to. You don't want
Why?
to swap
My
to
camera's
green
off.
room. You don't want to swap to green room. You want to stay in the one you're in.
Oh, okay. Hold on. My camera's not on. That's one of the problems. I can see that.
Do I pull my gag, Julie?
No.
Oh. Boo.
Give it at least
No.
30
Okay,
seconds.
so I don't want to do so. No, don't do that. I don't see how I turn my camera back on.
Is there at the bottom? Is there like if you hover over your mouse over
Hold
here?
on.
It should be to
I
the
gotta
right of the
drink this
microphone.
water again. Hold on. No, that's not it. I see the microphone. There's no camera icon. That was in the.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I think I'm going to restart this thing. So hold on. Let me go and come back.
Okay. Yeah, just rejoin the green room and I'll bring you down.
Okay.
Hey. Whoops. I broke the stream.
You know, folks, it's not. It's not.
It's not an HMPP?
I promise you, I do my absolute best. Fate hates me. I'm probably the show's least favorite host only because I try to be on time and make sure things don't break.
We were on time today.
I know.
We're all early.
Because I'm here.
Scuff has the zoomies today. Yeah, agreed document. So.
Gonna bring him back up to the green room. Hopefully he can. Okay, I see he's muted. Now he's unmuted. Now his camera's on.
Yay.
Oh. Okay, I saw your camera turn on for a moment.
Yeah, you have to turn it on again when you're in the new chat.
And
There we are.
Huzzah!
Okay, so what happened here?
I took my turn in advance and you blipped out.
Okay, so I'll ask my question again.
I'll shut up.
It's a good thing that CM jumped in when they did because it allowed for the scuff to occur naturally. I forgot which of my questions it was already. Never mind.
They're making a movie out of your book.
Your book is being made into a movie, but the casting agent did a terrible job. Do you still take the money?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because my secret guilty pleasure is that yes, my fantasy series should be made into a movie. It's as good as anything I've seen in the last 20 years, at least in my opinion. Of course, I'm biased, so what are you going to do? But they did a lousy job casting. That's too bad. Yeah, probably. I'm gonna hope that the script is still good, though. Otherwise, no, probably not. If the script is no good, and it's bad casting, then it probably can't be saved. But if the script is good, sometimes a good script can save a movie. So, it might be worth it.
Yeah, since my book advertised there as an anthology, I just want to see how badly it burns.
Go for it, Julie.
Okay. Playing off of that for a moment, who would be your ideal cast? If you are sitting there with the director and the casting agent, who would be your ideal cast?
I have a plethora of people in that book, so I'm just trying to narrow it down to one or two. Pretty sure I mentioned Caution in at least one story. That's the thing. I'm not up on who's like the young up and coming actors these days, apart from Timothy Chalamet, and he would make a terrible Kosh. He would.
Well, I mean, you can
He-
have anybody.
yeah,
Take somebody out of, like the
yeah.
90s and be like, okay, I need this
Mm.
person from this character to be this person.
Oh gosh, God, give young Danny Kaye a serious fucking role under a ton of makeup. He might do well as Kosh.
Huh.
How about you, Rich? You got any casting choices in your mind?
Yeah, if it can be anybody, um, because I forget when I stopped going to the theater. Uh, um, I could possibly see. Let me think about this. I could possibly see Brendan Fraser as, let's say, Bard in my story. Might make a good Bard. He's a bit too swashbuckling, perhaps, but I'm sure he could do it. Um, um, and some of the older classic folks from horror movies, like Vincent Price or Lon Chaney for the Necromancers. Um, that sort of fits. But for some of the other roles, I would have a hard time casting um, Demon Hunter, my Demon Hunter, Evan. Um, yeah, I'd have to think long and hard about that. Um, and we would need um, a young teen for um, one of the other characters. Um, I don't know who the wizards would be at all. I can't even begin to um, because some of the casting in Lord of the Rings was particularly well done. I thought. I don't want to make associate one with the other.
It's hard not to typecast sometimes.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about Elijah Wood. I don't think I would use him for anything. Um, but um, the guy who plays Boromir, no,
Sean Bean?
Gimli, no, Gimli, dwarf.
Yes.
Yes. He's a very good British actor. I'd like to use him for something.
Oh,
Yeah.
my brain stopped. I know his name.
Sean Bean is good. Was great as Boromir. I liked him in Game of Thrones for as long as he lasted. They kill him off too soon, frankly.
He has to
I'm
die in
not going to
everything
use.
he's in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going to. What?
I
That's
think
the
that's
reason.
in his contract.
That's the reason for not using him. Yes, it's like John Hurt, right? In Aliens, it's like, yeah, which Mel Brooks makes fun of in Spaceballs. Oh no, not again. Um, so there are some people you can't use specifically for those reasons, but I'd have to think long and hard. There are a number of characters that main characters that I would have to think about, um, both human and elven. Um,
Thank you, Izzy. John Rhys Davies.
yeah, that's his name. That's the guy who plays Gimli. I've seen him in a number of things.
Has also played alongside Brendan Fraser
Has he? In what?
in The
Ooh.
Mummy. He was
Yeah.
Salah,
Oh.
who got
Oh,
the horses.
he was in the Raiders, I think. He's the um, he's the Arab friend of Indy, if I'm not mistaken. They go to Cairo.
Oh yeah,
Or
yeah,
is that
yeah.
the one I'm thinking
Papers,
of?
of course I have papers. Look at these papers here. Punch.
Yeah.
It might be that might be who I'm
Love
thinking
that bit.
of. Not
Yeah.
from The Mummy.
Yeah. I don't seen the Mummy. Um, don't recall. I don't recall. But my memory's not as good as it used to be. Yeah, there'd be a number of characters I'd have to think long and hard on, both human and elven, because I take one of the things I did when I was done writing my fantasy series is I went through it all and collected a glossary of names and places and stuff, just like you see in the back of Lord of the Rings. And I ended up and discovered that I have a whole bunch of um, places and characters and all kinds of stuff, which I put in the back of my of those books, which when my nephew, who is a 20 something, I think, maybe a 30 something by now. What year is it? Almost a 30 something by now. Said that he liked that part the best, the glossary. And I sort of went, okay, fine. I
Gonna
did
be a
that
big
only so that
casting
people can
budget.
keep track of everything that goes on in the story, because it's 8 books and there's a lot of names that you won't recognize. So there'll be a lot of characters I'd have to think about
Yeah,
who
you're
would.
gonna
Izzy, don't apologize. You're being incredibly helpful right now.
you would have a big casting budget for sure.
I would have to. It would be a cast of thousands. Sure, it would be a Ten Commandments kind of.
Well, you also have Mr. Price and Lon Chaney on there, so those are
Yeah.
yeah.
not
And
cheap names.
no, and if I'm going back, I'll pull more names out of movies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s, because we used to have an old movie channel, and my wife and I were, until it got too expensive to keep, we were watching those old movies, and we loved them because they're far better than anything I see these days coming out of Hollywood, frankly.
Move on to our next one. If you could erase one book from your memory just to experience it again for the first time.
Hmm. Oh, since I forget stuff pretty easily, that could be anything I've already read. I don't have to erase it. I just have to wait, 3 years or something. But which is another way of saying I should probably go back and reread, maybe Frankenstein, which I haven't read in years, or some other classic, Dickens, something out of Dickens, perhaps, or the Mary and Zimmer Bradley, perhaps, or even Witch World from Andrew Norton. Any of those come to mind, because I don't know that I could tell you what goes on in half those books anymore. Although I have them and I know I've read them.
How about you, CM?
Oh, that's a tough one. My immediate first thought was one of my favorites by Sir Terry Pratchett,
Hmm?
Nation. But then, since he's passed, I'd be scared to read it because that would be the last of his writing that I've read. It took me a while to get to his actual last book. So yeah. Aside from that, I would pick on the whole Sharing Knife series by Lois McMaster Bujold because that book is the bomb. That series is the bomb. Can recommend.
I don't know if memory, like memory issues count, but we'll count it. I don't know if you get the same like experience rereading a book for the first time, even if you've forgotten the book, because at some point, like you're gonna read a sentence, it's gonna jog something, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe.
not. Um, um, I know I've read parts of various books in the Discworld series, and I could probably can't tell you what goes on in any of them because it was a while ago.
People who are currently reading the Discworld series couldn't tell you what's going on in them, so
Well, there's that.
that's a cop
But that's
out.
by design.
Go ahead,
That's by
Julie.
design.
Okay. So, what is your favorite character and which you've written? And why are they your favorite? And in the same aspect, who is your least favorite character?
I'm going to say Kosh. Corman Duracus, Felborn Whitekeep, ninth of his name, etc., etc., etc. He's just moved into my head, continues to live there rent free, even after I've killed him off. Spoilers.
Don't do
It doesn't
that.
happen for a long, long time. Calm down. He's got such an attitude, and he's just almost real, you know. The one I hate, I try not to hate any of my characters.
Oh, it sounds like you hate Shade.
I mean, yes, she's moved in. She's in the back of my head, constantly eating popcorn and commentating. But no, I don't actually hate her. Because hate means you want to get rid of them permanently and maybe erase every record of them from the earth. Uh,
Aaron,
the one that's
apparently.
given me the most difficulty is Huelbarra because I don't know what to do with him.
According to Izzy, the answer is Aaron.
Well, he's already dead, dear.
That's 2 spoilers. I'm gonna mute you.
No, actually, it's not. Anybody
No, that one was read out on stream. That's no spoiler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's out of our whole My Pen Promptcast.
How about you, Rich?
But
You got
yeah.
a favorite and a least favorite?
Picking a favorite is difficult because you're asking me to pick which child is my favorite child, and no parent can tell you that. At least no good parent would tell you that. However, there are many good characters out of my fantasy series, for example, that it would be very nice to be able to sit down and have conversations with. I suspect, although I think I probably already done that in the privacy of my own imagination, which is why I know them so well. Least favorite is more difficult because I don't think I have anybody on that list at all. Because even the villains have a purpose, and so I don't hate them. I just don't necessarily understand them. They're there as to cause mischief and mayhem for the heroes to do something about. Although, as I think about it, I've written so many things. There may be some. I'd have to reread some of my short stories again. There may be some characters in there that aren't particularly nice. There's a villain from my superhero novella that just recently came to mind. Um, um, who unleashes a plague on the. Is he the one? Is he the one? I think he's the one who tried to unleash a plague on the world. I can tell you if he succeeds or not. That would be a spoiler. Um, um, you'll just have to read that book. He's not a nice guy. He's your mad scientist type. He's probably at the bottom of the list. Because I don't think he has any redeeming qualities that I can think of.
Sounds like you need some spreadsheets in your life.
Oh, I have some. I have some.
I should start doing spreadsheets. I just need to know, the functionality thereof.
I used to, when I was first designing the characters in my fantasy series, I created a huge spreadsheet, which I subsequently went to find. This is over 10 years ago. I subsequently went to find and couldn't find them because I was putting down all kinds of information about the character so I could actually literally map out, okay, how is this character different from that character so I wouldn't be having cardboard characters. Oh, that was a lot of work, but it was my first time doing it, so that's why I went to that length. I don't tend to do that anymore. It's much easier now for me to figure out, well, how is this character going to be special? Because I've done it a lot more.
Less tools, more knowledge. Definitely seems to be the evolution of a craft.
Yeah, something like that.
I guess I'll follow it up with our next question. If you could co-author a book with any historical figure, and I'm not gonna let you guys cheat and pick an easy one, not an author. Any historical figure, who would it be?
Darwin.
Down this year.
I say this, I'm not saying this to be funny. It's going to sound funny. I'm not saying this to be funny. But wouldn't co-authoring a book with Darwin just be Game of Thrones?
No, I don't think so. Because it would be some sort. It would be a since you haven't set a timeline, it would either be something that would lead up to the origin of species, which I think is a very important work, or it'd be a sequel to same, in which case it would be mostly about natural history and hopefully give it would be more nonfiction than fiction. I suspect, and that's perfectly fine. I've written a fair amount of nonfiction as well. In fact, that's easier because you're just reporting facts.
All right. Go ahead, Julie. You got another one? I'll get the one from chat
Okay,
after
yeah.
this.
Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and take the one from chat.
Go for it.
Izzy Kraus. If you draft could, or if your draft could file an HR complaint, what would it say?
Unpatched plot holes.
I see a thinking face.
Yeah. If I get to pick the book, then no. Sorry, I'm talking to my wife off camera here. An HR complaint.
I just thought of another one for mine. It's prejudicial workplace. Definitely. Considering what I do to Koch.
It would
Carry on.
it would have to be about child violation of child labor laws because there are children who are working in some of my stories that are clearly would violate rules these days. They're far too young to be doing the jobs they're doing.
All right. Here's an interesting one that I think needs to be asked more often. I might make this into my normal rotation as well, only because I know that myself and other people struggle with this. So my question for you guys is, when you're writing your dialogue, do you try to write it how people naturally sound or how you wish they sounded?
It's depending on the character. Sometimes I'm going for particular accent, in which case then I'm trying to make it sound the way the accent sounds. But by and large, it's how I think the character talks, which means that it's as natural as possible, and I probably give them some unique phrases because everyone expresses themselves differently. So I said, okay, look, if they're trying to say, I don't know, they're trying to express some general idea. Um, how many ways can I think of saying it? And then I pick one. That's becomes the way they talk all the time because that's what I've noticed is that once you come up with an idea to express a concept, you tend to say it that way all the time.
How about you, CM?
I try to make my dialogue sound like real people are saying it. You know, if somebody's from a more educated background, they're likely to use longer words. If somebody's got a stutter, I'll put that in there. Just if somebody ums and ers a lot, that gets in there as well. You know, just try to make it real.
All right, Julie.
Okay, question from Kesh Butler. Who would you trust with your cartoon, and who wouldn't you trust?
There's a character from one of my earlier short stories, Ryle. I would trust him with my car because he would actually know how to operate it. just about all my other characters would have no fucking clue.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd probably repair it along the way.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I found out what that knocking sound was. You're welcome. Then I'd have to pay him. The person I would least trust with my vehicle, without a doubt, would be Fahrenheit Lapis Brokeis. Because he's 3 foot tall and wouldn't be able to see over the dashboard.
I thought you were gonna say Void for the opposite reason, because he wouldn't fit.
And he's a kobold.
Oh. How about you, Rich? Who you giving the car keys to? Who you keeping them away from?
Nobody gets the car keys. None of them are on the insurance. I'm sorry. I can't let anybody drive my car.
Australia has compulsory third party, so.
Okay. Never mind the fact that all of my medieval fantasy characters don't know how the thing works. It's magic. Okay, fine. All of the people from the future are probably going to wonder how the thing operates, because they don't have anything this archaic anymore in their century. It's going to be a scene out of Star Trek 4 where they're trying to figure out how to use the first generation Macintosh. It's like, guys, the clue. So so there's that aspect, but just on a practical matter, nobody's on the insurance. Sorry, nobody gets to drive it. That's the rule.
We have
Because if they're
a
in an accident, guess what? I have a lot of explaining to do to my insurance company. I don't want to talk to them ever again. Thank you.
just tell them that it was one of your book characters driving, and then they're gonna send you to the loony bin. You're gonna get a grippy sock vacation.
Well, that just means that I'm on the hook for whatever damage was done, and I'm not sorry. I pay enough in insurance. I don't need to pay for the repairs too.
That's fair. We have
That's why I have insurance.
our next question also comes from a chatter documancer. Asks, "What's your favorite place to write?"
Ah, um, I've experimented with this. It used to be upstairs on my desk. Um, was about the only place I would write. With the advent of mobile technology, I have experimented with using tablets and Bluetooth keyboards um, and tried to do it in my bedroom, on my bed, or on the kitchen table, for example, or whatever. Um, and only because I now have a second laptop, which is the one I'm using at the moment. My other place is right where I am right now, which is on my dining room table, where it's set up, where I do. Um, I write some other things here that use some newer software, because the laptop upstairs is 10 to 15 years old, and it's probably going to die eventually, and I need to have a way to keep going. Although at the rate things are going, since I still have my old desktop sitting on my desk, and that's going to be 20 years old pretty soon. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but so now I have two places to write: upstairs and down here. That's it.
All right, Billy, we got some more chat questions.
Okay. What insignificant real life annoyance has made its way into your books out of sight? Comes from Izzy Kraus.
Anti-vax Karens. Straight off the bat, anti-vax Karens just like filed off the serial numbers, moved them over, made them an annoyance, gave them just desserts.
How about you, Rich? You got any real life pet peeves that you've put into your books?
Um, hmm. I draw a lot from my own experience, so there's a lot of real stuff in there. There are places, locations, and so on. Pet peeves. Um, I think one of the. I think the bard in my fantasy novels, his general philosophy of taking things one day at a time was to address one of my peeves that I found from others, which was they don't know how to cope with all of the chaos of life. And I'm going, just take it one day at a time, guys. That's my own personal philosophy. And I can't tell you if I developed it for the character and then I adopted it, or it was vice versa. But we're in sync now. And that may just be bleeding onto the page, but it might not be. I may have actually picked something up in the course of my writing that I said, "Oh, I like this idea. I'm going to adopt it," as a way of mental therapy, as it were.
It's always nice when our books give back to our, as we're writing them. So,
Well, it's the way I find out what I'm actually thinking.
oh, there you go.
Because sometimes I just don't know. I don't know
Death,
what I'm actually thinking until it pours out onto the page.
Deathhead asks our next chat question, which I believe is very similar to the question we asked earlier. So this one might be quick and easy. Um, how about, so we asked you earlier, what have you searched that's got you on a watch list? How about the weirdest thing you've ever had to search?
Well, weird is kind of subjective.
Especially in this group.
Yeah, I don't know what would qualify for weird. I've searched for all kinds of things, like how uh, things about anatomies, because I was trying to write about, well, what would be the most efficient way to kill somebody, for a story I was writing. That would get me into trouble, I'm sure. Um, all kinds of
Well,
all kinds of
here,
strange all kinds of strange
I'll
things.
yeah, I'll pivot then. If weird is subjective and we have a hard time with that one, I guess I'll ask a different question then. This question's inspired by a guest we had last week who mentioned that they consider themselves an after action reporter as an author. So not using the standard pantser or plotter type
Oh,
archetypes. What job would you equivalent your writing style to? Like proactive, reactive? Are you a director, a reporter? What would you equate it to?
I'm a bit of everything, I suspect, because I will plot up to a point, I will make stuff up, and then deal with it, and then if I don't like it, throw it out and start over. Um, Very often, I'm doing reporting, because when you're describing something, it's just describing that's just reporting. Um, Dialogue is just, again, just reporting what they're saying. But this is a fair. If I'm stuck, I'm usually stepping back and then I'm plotting, because I have to know where I'm going so I can go do what I need to do. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes I just you know sit down. I don't know what I'm going to say and I make stuff up and there it is. And other times I'm going, no, that's not going to work, or I have to go back and I have to adjust because that doesn't work with what I said later. Oh, okay. Um, which means that I'm also having to keep copious notes about all kinds of stuff.
So director, reporter, and professional cat herder.
Uh, some amount of cat herding, yeah.
Yeah. How about you, CM?
Um,
Well, in answer to the research question, I recently Googled what blood smelled like.
uh,
For a story, for research purposes. As for the closest job, improv theater documentarian. I put the characters in situations. I give them a vague idea of what the fuck they're doing, and then I just write down what the voices in my head are going through.
Fair. Very fair. Okay. If your characters were on Naked and Afraid, who's making it out and who's throwing in the towel?
Uh, Kosh would definitely survive. in spite of himself. The one who doesn't make it. Who's the most fragile fucking? Yeah, Miss Bits. Miss Bits would break down, cry, and sob in a corner until they came to collect her.
How about you, Rich?
Well, it depends which story we're talking about, I suspect.
Any of them. Across your series, across
Yeah,
If
your
it helps
world.
narrow
my
it
main.
down, we usually stick to the one that's on screen.
Well, I can't see what's on your screen,
Oh,
so.
Pursuing Necromancers for you.
That's my fantasy series. Yes, in my fantasy series, um, main characters are surviving because they're the heroes. Some of the minor characters might not. Um, they fold pretty quickly when the necromancers come to. This is somewhere in the middle of the series when the necromancers come seek their revenge against the town that's tried to rebel against them. Um, but the main characters are in there for the long haul. That's what makes them heroes.
All right. That brings us to the end of our hour-long block. Julie, do you want to? We'll ask our final question that we ask everybody as their final thing. It's not really a question. It's now is your chance to plug everything. What can people look forward to? What do you got coming up next? Where can they find you? Like, are you doing any book events? Project coming out next? Give us your what to look forward to.
Okay, well, as it turns out, this Sunday I'm at Barnes and Noble in Hingham. For those people who live in Massachusetts, signing books. And then I have another event at a different Barnes and Noble. It's in Walpole, Mass, in July. Those are the next two events that I know of. I'm currently working on a sequel to Fantasy Romance I released last year, and it's going well, and I'm polishing, and I'm hoping to have that out. I think as someone mentioned earlier, this summer, maybe into the fall, something like that, depending on how long it takes. I'm not rushing it. In the meantime, I've released my 5th collection of poetry earlier this year. I think it was in March. If you're into poetry, that's new. You can take a look at that. I recently got a poem published in a local arts journal out this way for the second time in a row. So I'm very excited about that. I'm waiting to see that. I submitted 2, and they didn't tell me which one they took, so I had to write back to them and find out which one they actually took. I suspect I know, but I want to be sure. Aside from that, I have other novels in the works after the one I'm working on. So there'll be more fantasy stuff coming. Um, uh, um, and you can find. Are you throwing up website
Yeah,
information later?
so below your
Yeah.
name, on the stream we have your video feed, we have your
Okay.
name, and then we have your social link. You only provided us with Feidelberg.net, so
Yep, that's my website. You
so
can
there we
find
go.
Okay, you can find all my. That was where I was going next. Is like you can find all my stuff there. If anybody's interested, take a look. You'll get links to wherever they're available for purchase.
All right, so to recap, my New Englanders, if you happen to be in the area, Barnes and Noble book signing events coming soon, as well as a new fantasy romance. How about you, CM?
Well, today, of course, I'll be doing yet another work of fiction based on prompts that come to my hub site. The link's floating above my head. www.internata.org. You will find links to my everything there, especially if you look in the menu section. My other projects in the background, I'm working on a cover for a short story I'm planning to release this October. Fingers crossed I actually get it done this time. I've been procrastinating on this for a while, since last year. So advertising for that will be coming out closer to the event if it's happening. I'm pitching everything I can at the moment. Rewriting everything I can. But yeah, every day, fresh fiction, check my hub site, and if that doesn't suit you, something else in the menu will. I hope that covered everything.
Here to chat. Fully CM until
Right.
Yeah, make me draw.
right. Thank you both for letting us know what to look forward to. Thank you both on the show. Julie, us the outro.
Okay, everybody, thank you for being here for Book for Friday. And come back tomorrow night where you have da 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 Hold My Pen Promptcast with me and Izzy DeFisher and whoever else happens to
Izzy DeFisher?
not be
Is she related?
Izzy division?
Izzy Krause.
You all getting married?
Hey, look, for insurance purposes, I do just about it.
You heard it here first, chat. HMPP exclusive.
There it is. He's like this.
Indeed. All right then.
Okay, I'm trying to here.
Okay, focus. We got this.
Here we go.
Tomorrow, Hold My Pen Promptcast will be live at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, where we will be reading your submissions for last week's prompt. Last week's prompt winner was
Hold on.
pending. Anyway,
Yeah, pending. Hold on one second.
I believe it was
Izzy, that's my line.
It was the dialogue. It was the dialogue. I don't remember what the dialogue was.
I knew how it would end the moment you walked in.
So there you go. We will be reading off your submissions live tomorrow, and by we I mean Izzy Krause and Julie DeFisher. Go ahead and continue with your outro, Julie.
Okay, everybody, be here tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Adjust your times accordingly.
On cash.
If you're going to be late getting your submission in, you know how to contact us. Please do so we can get you on the thing. We are also trying to pull off that 129,313 words before the end of June, which will give us 500,000 words read out on the show. For those that don't know, that yes, we hit the 1 million on Track Bear, and now we have to figure out how to hit the 1 million on read out words on the show. So here we go. Otherwise, be brave, be bold, always stay humble. You know anybody who wants to be on the show, have them contact me. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye!